Hello, welcome back to my channel. This week is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be posting a bit of a vlog. Nick and I took a week off each at the same time to work on the house, do some chores, do some spring cleaning and stuff like that. And I thought I would take you along with us, show you the projects that we're working on and stuff like that. And yeah. So far, I haven't done much today because I am currently in recovery from my tattoo that I got yesterday. But I've cleaned the kitchen, done a couple things, and Nick's been hard at work doing trim, which I'll show you. And then I'm gonna paint that, and then yeah. Right now I just need to go change over the laundry, so let's go do that. So here's what Nick has been working on all morning and afternoon now. The trim for our upper floor, all there, there, there. Getting it cut so I can paint it later today. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Hello. So we took a bit of a break from the work and we went to the hardware store to get some wood for a mug shelf that we're building this week. That's one of the jobs on the list. And then we're actually going to another hardware store because they didn't have the right kind of trim at this hardware store. So we're going to Home Hardware to get some more.
We didn't exactly take a break. We ran out of trim.
Yeah, we did run out of trim. So we had to take a break. Cause yeah. But anyways, so we're going to Home Hardware. We went to Rona for the wood, and now we're going to Home Hardware for the trim because that's where we got it originally. So it'll match better, etc., etc. But yeah, there's your update. Okay, so here we are with our first time lapse. There are going to be many time lapses in this video. But yeah, this is me painting the trim. Don't worry, I do not record the entire time because I realize, hey, painting white on white, probably not the most interesting thing in the world to watch. So yeah, I just paint a couple of them and then I stop the footage. But yeah. This took forever, getting in all the little nooks and crannies of the trim, but yeah. Hello, welcome to day 2 of the work week. Today we are just kind of finishing up a couple jobs that we already started. Like I'm gonna be finishing painting this trim. Nick's gonna do half, I'm gonna do half. Am I pointing at it? Yes, kind of. I'm not going to film it today just because I think you got the idea from yesterday's clip. It's just painting white on white. It's not very satisfying. But yeah, we are going to be doing that and then hanging some pictures up in the office. And maybe some other chores too because we were supposed to go shopping for wood for the mug shelf today, but we did that yesterday. So we've got a little bit of a gap in our schedule. So we'll see what it brings. Okay, we are done painting and we are on to the hanging things on the wall section of the day. So here is the big pile of stuff I want hung. That and also those posters all along, let me show you the walls. So here's the blank walls that I want to cover here and over my desk, and then over here above my bookshelf I want to put some shelves and a couple posters there as well. So yeah, we will see how that goes. Hello again, here we are back in the car. You're probably wondering, where's the hanging stuff up that you said you were gonna do? Change of plans. I had, well, kind of revert back to original plans. When we first got this house and painted the rooms and stuff like that, I had a plan to paint a rainbow mural thing on the wall in my office, and I kind of gave up on that because I thought, you know, it's too hard, it's gonna be too complicated, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that, and Nick convinced me that it wasn't going to be that bad and it would look really cool, and if I wanted, I should do it. And so we decided to do that before hanging anything on the wall, in case we like put anything over top of it or anything like that, and then we don't have to worry about taking things down, and then everything else, we'll just have it painted. So we went to Rona again and got some paint samples tinted to the different colors of the rainbow, and then I'm gonna go home and tape it up and then do 3 colors today and then do 3 colors tomorrow. And yeah, that's the new plan. Okay, we're back in the office and we are ready to start. I have my paint and rollers and frog tape and blank wall to paint. Yeah, let's get started.
Okay, so now we are on to painting the wall. This angle, I didn't think I liked it, but it's actually much better than the angle I switched to later. So anyways, this is me painting the first set of colors. So there's the pink going on, and you might be wondering why I'm not painting all the way over to the tape, and that's because we're trying this blending technique where you don't paint like part of where the red currently is actually going to be orange, but so instead of trying to like line them up right next to each other, you kind of like go into the next color's space and then paint over what you painted before. So it's supposed to help with like ridges and seams in the paint. It worked okay, I guess, in the end, but yeah, that's why I'm painting kind of just a little bit farther over than you might think I should be, but not far enough over to touch the other side of the tape. I don't know if that made any sense, but yeah, that's the strategy and why the paint looks like that.
Hello. Day 3. We're on day 3. It's Wednesday. And we are putting up the trim. Well, Nick is putting up the trim right now. I just finished putting on the second coat of the first set of colors on the rainbow. So that's done. Now I have to wait 6 hours for it to dry so we can switch the colors and I can start doing the second colors, which I'll get some footage of. And what else is on the docket today? I finished the trim. I think that might be it. What else were we supposed to do today? Yeah. What else were we supposed to do today? Put the trim up, paint. Oh, right, we're gonna cut wood for the mug shelf and move some shelves around in the guest room, which are currently covered in a million board games, so that'll take a little while. But yeah, that's the plan for today. Let's do it. Okay, so new update. We decided to take the tape off because you're supposed to take paint tape off when it's still wet. I think I'm going to explain why this side is a straight line and this side's not in a voiceover. So you should already know what that is. But we took the tape off and there's like a lot, especially right there, bleed, where it bled through the tape. And we spent extra money to get the special frog tape that everyone said was going to be so amazing. So I'm a little bit annoyed right now. But we do have the wall color paint still, so we could touch it up a little bit that way. So yeah, we'll see how the second set of colors goes, and just go from there, I guess.
Okay, now we have a little bit of a cleaning montage. Unfortunately, just because we are working hard on other projects doesn't mean that the raw, basic, normal chores don't need doing. So yeah, here we are filling the dishwasher and cleaning up the huge mess that has accumulated over the, I think, 3 days that we had been working and just kind of throwing our dishes in a pile. So yeah, I just decided to include this just as a little bit of realism into how much work we were doing in between housework, or in between, like, you know, projects.
Before.
And now we're on to the satisfying portion of the video, I think, which is me slowly cleaning all of the keycaps off my keyboard. I just kind of threw them in a soapy, wet bowl, and I'm now scrubbing each of them individually to make sure that I get all the little fingerprints and dust and everything else off of them. So yeah, that's the next step. And then after this, we're going to be heading over to paint, or rather stain some wood for the shelf. So that's what happens after this. And yeah, this took me longer than I would like. But yeah, here we are staining the shelves for the, or staining the wood for the shelf, the mug shelf. This took a long time as well, especially doing the edges, and on the ones that have little notches to fit into the other shelves. It took a long time. As you can see, I'm picking them up so I can get a good angle on all the different little crevices that I have to paint.
Okay, hello again. So that was a lot of work that we just did. I'm feeling pretty tired, but there's more to do because Nick is currently upstairs taping the second set of colors for the rainbow, and I want to paint it tonight so it can dry, and I do the second coat tomorrow and it can dry, and then it'll be done tomorrow. So that's what the plan is for the rest of the day. And then yeah, we ordered Taco Bell for dinner, so I'm really freaking excited about that. And other than that, I'll see you tomorrow.
And now we're back to painting more colors. So here we are painting over the red, like I mentioned earlier, with the blending technique that we were using before. So the orange goes a little bit over the red, so we don't have to worry about meeting them up against each other perfectly. Again, I'm sorry about the angle. I guess the other angle was the better angle. You can't really see much of the actual painting going on here, but yeah, there goes the green, and then the purple is last. And yeah, I only got footage of the first coats because I felt like doing the second coats was kind of boring to watch. So I figured I would just get footage of the first coats and not worry about the second coats.
Hello. Day 4? Has it really been day 4? Day 4. Thursday. We are just getting started the day. Basically on the agenda today is staining, lots of staining of the mug shelf, because we got to do another coat, and then the other side, and then another coat on the other side. Excuse me. And then I need to also paint my last coat of the rainbow, and then I also need to put together my keyboard, and we also need to paint the nail holes that we patched yesterday on the trim. We need to paint those, and yeah, so lots of like little like finishing touches on some stuff, and just putting things back together and stuff like that today. So yeah.
And now we are currently Googling a keyboard layout so I can make sure I put my keyboard back together in the way that it should be put together. Nick actually joins in and helps me with this because he thought it was fun, I guess. It takes us quite a while to get this all back together, especially remembering where all the letters go and making sure that all the numbers are the right numbers, like the top numbers are on the top and the numpad buttons are on the numpad and all that good stuff, but we figured it out eventually.
After.
Okay, here we are, more satisfying, I want to say ASMR, but there's no sound, so not ASMR, but the peeling of the tape, the final peeling of the tape as we finish up the last colors. So yeah, this tape worked okay. It obviously bled in a lot of places, but I think for the most part it worked pretty well. There was just a couple pieces that we had to take down and then reapply a bunch of times. So I think that was kind of our mistake. If we had just like applied it and then like if we had just lined it up and then applied it to the wall, then it would have worked a lot better. But we didn't on the first colors, so they bled. But honestly, Nick went over it with a fine brush afterwards and he did a great job tidying up all the places that it bled or that I made a mistake. And it looks really good. I can't wait to show you guys the final results. But yeah, enjoy the paint peeling or the tape peeling. Now we are back to the mug shelf, staining the mug shelf. We're doing the other side of the stuff that I stained the other day. Bear is obviously keeping me company as I do this because he needs to be in the middle of everything. But yeah, this took me a lot less time because I didn't have to do the edges. I just had to do the top of the thing. But and Nick ended up doing the other coat on this side, which was very nice of him to do. But yeah.
So we had to go to Verona again. We had a couple of things that we needed to pick up. Nick needed something called a screw setter or something for making the shelf. We needed screw caps for the shelf. We needed, he needed a clamp and a couple other random things. So we had to go out. We're currently sitting outside the beer store. Nick is inside getting some beer, and then we have a grocery order we're gonna go pick up. But yeah, I feel like I haven't gotten like any footage today because we finished the rainbow. That's fine. It was the second coat, so I didn't record that. I got some footage of me doing the stain, which was good. But I think for the rest of the day, I'm just going to be doing more coats of stain. So yeah, we also did a bunch of cleaning around the house that I didn't get either because it was just like maintenance stuff, like scrubbing the toilet. But yeah, day 4, just a lot of maintenance, a lot of little things, a lot of patching up holes, and yeah, hopefully by tomorrow I'll have some results. We made it. We made it to Friday. It is finally the end of the week, and I think we're doing pretty good. We have to finish up the shelf today. Nick is doing some more touch-ups on the rainbow, and we gotta stain the shelf and put it together and hang it. But other than that, I think it's gonna be mostly relaxing, mostly results footage today. So yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, and here we are attempting stage 1 of building the shelf. We ended up not finishing it on this day, which I explained later in a clip. But yeah, we are basically just trying to line it all up, make sure that the pieces of wood aren't too warped, and that they are going to fit together ultimately into the shelf that we want it to fit. So this is a lot of aligning, a lot of clamping, a lot of leveling, all that good stuff as we try to figure out how to make sure that it'll work. And then finally, we finally make a screw hole right there and there, and we realize that we can't actually do most of the building today.
Okay, so change of slash misunderstanding of plans. The shelf is not dry yet. We waited for like 3 or 4 hours, and it's still tacky, so like things like sawdust and stuff like that are sticking to it. So even though it's like mostly dry, we can't really build on it right now and like do actual things to it. So that will be tomorrow or Sunday, and the paint on the rainbow needs to dry for at least a week before we can put the outlet cover back on, and then before I want to start trying to assign or figure out where my bookshelves are going to go and all the stuff on top of my bookshelves and stuff like that. So yeah, this video is coming out a lot later than I thought I was going to, but I want to include the results in this video, just because I don't want to not include the results after all this. So yeah, I will keep you guys updated.
So this was actually on Saturday. My mom had come to visit, and we had just gotten back from the Maple Syrup Festival, but we decided to build it today just to try to get it done. So yeah, a lot again of making sure things are gonna work, making sure the screws are gonna go in without splitting any wood, then more clamping, more lining, aligning, stuff like that. And then we finally get into the actual building of the shelf itself, and yeah, that was what we did on Saturday.